In this section, we're going to write a web browser using Python. So we've already got a socket. We know how to write a socket. In the previous section, we played with the protocol and used Telnet to do it by hand, and now we're going to do it in Python. And what you're going to find is it's not that hard. So here we go. So the first 3 lines of this program, import socket, make the socket. Remember, the socket isn't really got the connection. So when you make the socket, again, we're going to make a stream-based socket, and it's suitable for going across the internet. The connection, it's like ring, phone call, connect to data.pr4e.org and port 80. And so that basically says extend the socket across and connect to a web server. And so there's got to be a piece of software running, and this will blow up if the software is not running. Okay? So then, now we've got a phone. We've made a phone call. Now, whether or not the remote side says hello or not is up to the application protocol. And in this case, the web servers say nothing, and they wait for you to talk first. So we're the web browser in this case, and so we're going to talk first. And we know what, because we read the documentation, we know that we're going to send get blah, 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 space, blah, 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 HT1, and then 2 new lines. Return, return. Remember, we had to have a blank line. We'll talk a little bit about this encode. It's preparing the data to go across the internet. And then we say send it. And so this basically takes that little string and sends it across the network. And then this piece of software is waiting for it. And then the software goes and reads a file or does some other stuff, and then it starts sending us data back, which we can then choose to receive. So now I write a real simple loop. We're going to receive these things 512 characters at a time. So we're going to loop through, receiving 512 each time. And if we get 0 characters, that means it's end of the stream. The stream is closed. And if you look at the little example from the previous one, you saw connection closed. When the connection is closed, we get an indication that it is because we ask for some data and we get 0 data. Otherwise, if there might be more data, this will wait. If the network is slow, you'll see, if you do a print statement in here, you will see that this will pause from time to time on a really slow network. If your network is fast, it'll just go blank and it'll be so fast it won't matter. But this is how we go. So this is basically until the entire socket, until the socket is closed, we're going to read this data. And because this data is coming from the outside world, we have to decode it before we print it. And then when we're all done, we break out of here and we close the socket. So literally, that is an entire web browser written in 10 lines of Python. And again, this is why everybody loves Python. So this is what this program will show if you run. The get is sent. It looks exactly like doing it by hand. You get some headers. Again, this is metadata that tells you something about the file. In this case, one of the important things is what kind of thing is coming next. There's always a blank line as a break between the headers and the actual data, the metadata and the data. And then here is the actual text of that romeo.txt file. And then it's going to run this, going to print data.decode. All this is coming from the print statement. If you were going to parse this, you have to know that you're going to read the headers up to a blank line. The blank line is your indication as a software developer that the headers have stopped and the actual text begins, and you know the syntax. This actually could be a JPEG or a PNG or some kind of image, right? And this data would here look like blah. So if you type this and you change that code to actually go retrieve a JPEG URL, gibberish will come out, okay? And so that's exactly what you will see. And so now you have built a very simple web browser. Next, I want to talk a little bit about what happens when characters transition from outside your computer, from inside the computer in strings, out across these sockets to servers and then back.